You know what? I just thought about it. You know, I'm pretty much done with this. I'm not going to be using it a whole lot. My brother probably end up stealing this from me because he's going to be upgrading all the networks on the network in his house and pulling a bunch of wire. Once I get to 10,000 subscribers and once he's done with it, I'm going to give this thing away to one of the subscribers. I'll just do like a Excel spreadsheet of all the subscribers and do a random function and pick somebody. So 10,000 subscribers, someone gets a free Magnespot. The other day I was showing you this tool and I told you I'd tell you what it's about. So this is called a Magnespot, and it's not a cheap tool, but it's one of the best tools I've seen in a long time for what it does. So back in the day when we were pulling cable, you would have to go into a room and take measurements off the ceiling, take measurements off the floor, take measurements off the corners of the room, and then go around to the other side, whether it be an exterior wall or an interior wall, and try to take all these measurements and try to get the thing right. And it was kind of a pain in the butt is exactly what it was. So whoever came out with this thing is freaking brilliant. I love this. Basically what it is let me pop it open for you. Give me 1 second. Comes in two pieces. So you have the locator, which is right here, and then the signal sender, which is here, and the locator, which is here. So basically what this is if you look at it, it's got a screw knob here, and it's basically got an industrial push pin in it. And you could either put it in there, and then you could push this into drywall or wood or what have you, and then you use the locator. So we originally got this, or I got this when I was talking to my buddy about how to try to find where we're going to pop up the Avantech in the attic and making sure we're pulling up the right sheet of Avantech. You know, where's the room downstairs to where's it up there? And what we could have done is taken just a ton of measurements, right? And it would have been, frankly, a bit of a pain in the butt to figure out exactly where it was by taking measurements off the far wall in my office, down the hall, and then trying to triangulate and locate it. Whoever came up with this is freaking awesome. So what you do is, again, you could either use this on or off. And I got it for pulling this cable that we're going to be pulling for the network. But actually, I ended up using it for something else. So in the master bedroom, there's like 9 returns for air in there, but in my guest bathroom, there's only 1 return. In the front guest bedroom, there's only 1 return. In my office, there's only 1 return. And the master bedroom was staying nice and cool in the summer and nice and warm in the winter, but then the other 2 rooms in the guest bathroom were staying cold or warm, vice versa. And basically, they were just putting too much air into the master bedroom and not balancing it out with the other. So I had an HVAC company come in, and we put in 2 new registers, and we actually used this as well to find the location. So I knew where I wanted the register, and I went upstairs and I put this in there, and then I'm going to show you how you use this in just a second. But I put this in where I wanted the register in the office, and they were able to go in and locate it exactly where I wanted it. We popped a register in there. And then we went into the guest bedroom, the front guest bedroom, and I put exactly where I wanted the register. And when he went under there, he's like, oh, there's a joist there. Can you move it left or right? And I moved it in the direction that I would prefer it. And he's like, perfect, we found it. That's exactly where we put it. So I realized that this is originally designed for pulling network cables so you can locate areas on both sides of the wall. But then I figured, oh, well, this is actually really good for plumbers. So say someone wants to put in a new hose bib on the outside of the house, you can give the homeowner this and just let them hold it where they want it, and then you can go inside and find it. So anyway, let me pull this up real quick and show you how we use it. It's not perfect, but it's actually really, really good. So what you do is, if you look at this, it's got 2 buttons and then your on-off switch here. So I'm going to try to see if you can hear this. So I'm going to be really quiet, but You hear that? Okay, so what that is inside of here, there is a small vibrator. So when you put it on the wall or on the ceiling or wherever you're trying to locate, it's going to send a vibration through this pin, or even if you just set it down on top of something like I was doing in the guest bedroom, because when I was there, my AC is under the house. So I just kind of set it where I wanted it, right? But what you do is you turn it on, and it's not going to locate exactly where you want it. It's just going to get you in the ballpark so you can kind of hear it through the floor. And for as loud as this is, you would actually be really surprised at how loud it is on the other side of the wall. So when we were trying to figure out the Advantech, I was sticking this in the ceiling and then using the locator, and I could actually hear it. Not really loud, but I mean, I could kind of get my way into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this under the table real quick, and I'm just going to smack it in there, and then you guys can. So it is now located, and I'm going to turn it on. So you may be able to hear it now because that vibration is actually resonating through here, so you can actually hear it. But then you take the locator and you push down the button. And that's where the hole is. It takes it a minute. You got to kind of line it up and figure it out, right? So you got to go in the direction it's going at to figure out where you're going. So I'll turn that off now because that can get annoying. But so that is so much better, because in the old days when you take those measurements, I mean, I don't think I really got too many hole punches wrong, but I can remember once or twice where I thought I was like on this side of the joist, or the customer wanted me to punch a hole here and there was a joist right here, and I ended up punching like either right into the joist after doing all the measurements, or I'd just be on the other side of the joist, so then you'd have to punch a hole. And with this, it makes it so much easier because you can locate exactly where you want the hole. So as I said, with the HVAC, I just put it on the floor where I wanted the new register, and he took the other one up under the house, and we were talking via cell phone, but I just set it right there, and we were able to locate exactly where to put that register. So if you're an electrician, this is fantastic. If you're pulling network cables, it's fantastic. But if you're a plumber, again, someone wants to put in a new water line or a hose bib on the outside of the house, or if you're doing HVAC or anything where you're going to be punching a hole through, this thing is fantastic. So the amount of money I spent on it was, I think, around $200. But just for the fact I didn't have to punch a bunch of holes and figure out where I was going to try to put stuff that was well worth it alone, from me spending 30 minutes taking measurements off 6 different walls and ceiling and floor and trying to go up into the attic. And because there's no walls up there, right? There's no hallway for me to go, oh, okay, well, this is where the hallway is. I'll just punch it here. So it makes life a lot easier. So as I said, it's not super cheap, but if you're punching a bunch of holes, or if this is your job where you're plumbing or doing HVAC or electrical or network engineering, yeah, I wish I had this thing like maybe 30 years ago when I first started pulling cable, dude. That would have made my life so much easier, and I would have been so much more productive, because I could just go exactly where I wanted the hole, punch the hole, and be done with it, instead of spending 20, 15, 10 minutes taking measurements and hoping I got it right and ending up on the wrong side of the joist, which again only happened once or twice in the career. But if I could just go there, punch a hole, run my cable, and then on to the next job, I would have been so much more productive. So yeah, there you go. So that's Magnespot. That's what it is. And that's how what we were using is to get through the Advantech and a couple other places where we were adding some network cable to the house. And yeah, it makes it a lot easier. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.